Before the judicial investigator stands a small, exceedingly thin peasant in a coarse hempen shirt and patched trousers. His face, overgrown with hair and pitted with smallpox, and his eyes, barely visible beneath thick, overhanging brows, bear an expression of morose severity. A veritable mop of long uncombed, tangled hair crowns his head, lending him an even greater spider-like grimness. He is barefoot. Denis Grigoryev, the investigator, begins. Step closer and answer my questions. On the 7th of this July, the railway watchman Ivan Simonovich, while making his morning rounds at the 141st verst, caught you unscrewing a nut that fastens the rails to the sleepers. Here it is, this nut. He apprehended you with this very nut in your possession. Is that how it happened? Was it? Did it all happen as Chekhov describes? Plainly it did. Very well. Now, why were you unscrewing the nut? Was it? Drop that was it of yours and answer the question. Why were you unscrewing the nut? If I didn't need it, I wouldn't have unscrewed it, Denis rasps, squinting at the ceiling. And why did you need this nut? The nut? We use M for sinkers, for fishing. Who is we? We the folk, the Klamovo peasants, that is. Listen, brother, don't play the fool with me. Speak plainly. Don't lie to me about sinkers. Never lied in my life, so why start now? Denis mutters, blinking. But surely, Your Honor, you can't do without a sinker? If you're putting a live bait or a worm on a hook, will it go to the bottom without a sinker? Lying. Denis chuckles. What good's a bait if it just floats on top? Perch, pike, and burbot always go for the bottom. Only an ASP might strike on the surface, and even then, but rarely. There's no ASP in our river. That fish likes the open water. Why are you telling me about asps? Was it? Why, you ask yourself. Even the gentry fish that way. Not even the smallest boy would fish without a sinker. Of course, someone who knows nothing, well, he might go fishing without one. No law for a fool. So you're saying you unscrewed this nut to make a sinker out of it. What else? It wasn't to play knucklebones with. But for a sinker you could have used lead, a bullet, some sort of nail. You won't find lead on the road. You have to buy it. And a nail's no good. You couldn't find anything better than a nut. It's heavy, and it's got a hole in it. What a fool he's pretending to be. As if he were born yesterday or fell from the sky. Don't you understand, you blockhead, what this unscrewing leads to? Had the watchman not looked, the train could have jumped the tracks. People would have been killed. You would have killed people. God forbid, Your Honor. Why kill anyone? Are we heathens or villains? Glory be to God. Kind sir, we've lived our lives and never so much as thought of killing. Save and have mercy, Queen of Heaven. What are you saying, sir? And what do you think causes train wrecks? Unscrew 2 or 3 nuts, and there's your wreck. Denis chuckles and squints incredulously at the investigator. Well now, for how many years has the whole village been unscrewing nuts, and the Lord has watched over us? And here you say a wreck, killing people. If I carried off a rail, or, let's say, put a log across the track, well, then maybe the train would tip over, but this puffed. A nut. But don't you see, the nuts are what fasten the rail to the sleepers. We understand that. We don't unscrew them all. We leave some. We don't do it without thinking. We understand. Denis yawns and makes the sign of the cross over his mouth. Last year a train went off the tracks here, says the investigator. Now it's clear why. What is your pleasure, sir? I am saying it is clear now why the train derailed last year. I understand. That's why you're educated, so you can understand our benefactors. God knew who to give understanding to. You've reasoned it out, how and what, but that watchman is just a peasant with no understanding at all. He grabbed you by the collar and hauls you off. You should reason first, then haul. He's a peasant, and a peasant's mind. Put it down to your honor that he hit me twice in the teeth and in the chest. When they searched your place, they found another nut. Where did you unscrew that one? And when? You mean the one that was under the little red chest? I don't know where it was, but they found it. When did you unscrew it? I didn't unscrew it. Ignashka, the son of one-eyed Semyon, gave it to me. That's the one under the chest. The one out in the sledge in the yard. Mitrofan and I unscrewed together. Which Mitrofan? Mitrofan Petrov. Haven't you heard of him? He makes nets and sells them to the gentry. He needs lots of these nuts. For every net, he needs about 10. Listen, Article 1081 of the Penal Code states that for any intentional damage to a railroad, when it may endanger the transport using said road, and the perpetrator knew that a disaster must be the consequence. Do you understand? Knew. And you could not help but know what this unscrewing leads to. He is sentenced to penal servitude. To be sure, you know best. We are ignorant folk. Do we understand such things? You understand everything. You're lying, pretending. Why lie? Ask in the village if you don't believe me. Without a sinker, you can only catch bleak, and even a gudgeon won't bite if you don't have a sinker. Tell me more about the SP, the investigator smiles. We don't have asps. We cast the line without a sinker on the surface with a butterfly for chub, and even then, it's rare. Now be quiet. Silence follows. Denis shifts from foot to foot, stares at the green-covered table, and blinks intensely, as if he sees the sun instead of the cloth. The investigator writes rapidly. Can I go? Denis asks after silence. No, I must take you into custody and send you to prison. Denis stops blinking and, lifting his thick brows, stares questioningly at the official. How's that to prison? Your Honor, I haven't the time. I have to go to the fair to get 3 rubles from Jaeger for the lard. Silence. Do not disturb me. To prison. If there were a reason, I'd go, but like this, just out of the blue. For what? I haven't stolen, I don't think, and I haven't fought. And if you're doubting about the tax arrears, Your Honor, don't believe the village elder. Ask the permanent member. There's no cross on him. That elder. Silence. I am silent as it is. Denis mutters. And what the elder lied about in the accounts, I'd swear to even under oath. There are 3 of U.S. brothers, Kuzma Grigoryev, that is, Yegor Grigoryev, and me, Denis Grigoryev. You are disturbing me. Hey, Semyon, the investigator shouts. Take him away. There are 3 of us brothers, Denis mutters as 2 stout soldiers take him and lead him from the chamber. A brother isn't his brother's keeper. Kuzma doesn't pay, so you, Denis, must answer for it. Judges, our late master the general is dead. Kingdom of heaven to him, or he'd show you judges. You should judge with skill, not at random. Flay us if you must, but for a reason, in good conscience.